first category?
Let's go with video, number 1.
Video number 1. First hand I see, the presentment clause. What is the presentment clause? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Frankie.
It outlines the federal legislative procedure by which bills are originated in Congress.
You know, that's actually pretty good, and I shouldn't reward you for that, but yeah, the presentment clause, and this is from the PowerPoint. The presentment clause says that all bills that are passed in identical form by the House and the Senate must be presented to the President, ultimately for the signature, the veto, whatever it would be. Make sure you don't blow off that PowerPoint. It will get you. Frankie, pick me a category.
Let's go courts for 2.
Courts for 2. Courts for 2. First hand I see. Order of discussion. No, wait, this isn't your class. Mootness. Mootness. You've got it. Go ahead.
Is when there's no longer a case to dispute.
I'm sorry, say again?
When there's no longer a case to dispute.
What do you mean by that, when there's no longer a case to dispute?
Like if it doesn't apply to the situation.
If it doesn't apply to a situation.
Like kind of.
Maybe give me an example, because I think I know where you're going, but I need you to explain it.
When that one lady was talking, was arguing for her rights to an abortion.
Yes, when Roe was arguing for her rights to abortion.
But she was no longer pregnant.
She was no longer pregnant, so why did that make it moot?
Because she can't get an abortion if she's not pregnant.
She can't get an abortion if she's not pregnant. If you start a lawsuit and ultimately the lawsuit resolves itself before you get to court, then the case is moot, and even if you've got a valid claim, the court isn't going to hear it. Your group still got it. Can you give me a second example that I gave you from class? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First hand I see. Can y'all give me the second example? Go ahead, Grant.
The one with birth control?
Birth control for mootness.
Oh, wait.
Explain that to me. 5, 4,
Wasn't it like
3, 2,
Stress.
1.
Like,
Minus 2.
Oh, what?
Go ahead, Jeremy. What's that? Don't want the birth control case. I need an example of mootness. Who told you to read? Go ahead.
I got that.
Still not wanting to hear the birth control case. I need an example of mootness. 5, 4. There's a second example. 3, 2, 1. Minus 2. The other example was if you did not get into college and you were suing for admittance and then they admitted you. That's what I was looking for. But your group, Mel, gave me the last correct answer. Pick me a category, please.
President 4.
President for 4. I think we got our first Pictionary. Who wants to draw? Need somebody from your group to come up and draw. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, if you can't draw, it's even better, Priscilla. If you draw badly, then now you don't have to say anything, right? This is what I need you to draw. And we're going to start you on the 6 up there. Don't say it out loud. Got it? That's what I need you to draw. Okay? Come up here and get close on this. Start on the 6. Go ahead, Priscilla, now.
Get that answer?
That's what they have to say.
Okay.
Yeah, that shouldn't be that bad. You want to see? Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Everyone guesses?
No, it's just your group, and you've got 1 minute. You actually have 45. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
Oh my God.
Stop! I don't know how to draw this.
Yeah, come on, think about it. I'm sure you've used this before.
I know.
30 seconds. This is from the presidency chapter.
If they don't guess it, do they get points off?
I don't know. 20 seconds. You're on the track. Go ahead. Do what you're doing. You're right.
Okay.
You got it. Can y'all see what she's drawing? This is from the presidency chapter. It is makeup. Yeah, that wasn't that hard. Oh my goodness. Your group has it first. First hand I see gets it next. What's the significance of makeup from the presidency chapter? You, and then you. Go.
Nixon versus Kennedy when he got sick and he just came from the hospital.
Nixon versus Kennedy. And what? Do you remember what election this was?
It was
5, 4.
1960.
It was the 1960. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 1960, Nixon was running against Kennedy. And there was a technology, wasn't there, in 1960? What happened for the first time?
TV, it was the first televised debate, and Nixon was very pale. He didn't look at the camera. He wore glasses, background.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so going back to this, it was the 1960 presidential election. It was the first time that it had ever been televised on TV. And not only that, Nixon, he was pale, so because he had just gotten out of the hospital, and he refused to wear makeup. Dark suit, like you said, that blended in with the background. And then you said, I believe, that he didn't look at the camera. Okay, what did Kennedy do in this televised debate?
He had just come back from vacation. He got a tan.
Well, where? 5. He was just coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4 from California. Keep going. Anything. 3. He looked at the camera. He wore a suit that did not blend with the background. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then ultimately, what was the ruling? What was the significance?
Kennedy won the TV because people saw him, and then Nixon won the radio because people only heard what he said.
Yeah, understand on this. Kennedy won the TV side of the debate because people judged his mannerisms. They judged his appearance. Nixon won on radio because they judged ultimately his answers. He always felt cheated. And the moral of the story is, you don't win you don't win elections because of the debate, but you lose them from the debate. Y'all gave me the last correct answer. Pick me a category. In Ratchet Jeopardy.
This is terrible.
Pick one. 5. Y'all have a huge lead. There shouldn't be any pressure now. 4, 3.
Articles for 1.
Articles for 1. Big spender you are. The number 1 attribute of the president according to the articles, and the number 1 attribute of the president according to the text. Go ahead.
The moral leader of the country?
-1.
Luca.
Number 1 attribute, and this goes back, there was a particular article that dealt with this. It was really quick, but I also mentioned the text too. The number 1 attribute. 5, 4. Go ahead.
Wait, can I?
Yeah, you can. Nobody else wants it.
Isn't it natural born citizen?
God, -1 for you too. Persuasion was the number 1 according to the text. Courage was the number 1 according to the article. You gave me the last correct answer, Mel's group. Pick me a category. You have a comfortable lead. Who'd have thought Frankie's group would be in second place? I got a new category though. We gotta go. This is a review. I'm trying to cover stuff. Just pick one.
Courts for 1.
Courts for 1. Courts for 1. For y'all, courts for 1. What happens when the Supreme Court ends in a tie? First hand I see. Go ahead.
Is it the vice president that breaks the tie?
-1.
Damn.
See, there is hope. What happens when the Supreme Court ends in a tie? 5, 4, 3, yes. They uphold the ruling of the highest lower court. That's exactly what it is. And this is something that's in the scavenger hunt video that's posted. Make sure you look at the videos. Pick me a category. You're in dreadful tie for last place. That probably means pick a big point category. 5. Presidents for 3. First hand I see. What's the significance of the United States versus Nixon?
Oh,
You have it.
So basically the whole significance around that was Nixon tried to use executive privilege.
What is executive privilege? What did he say it was? Let's start
He
there.
could do whatever he wanted to protect the tapes, and to protect the secrecy of the presidency.
Yeah, okay, so what kinds of things does executive privilege, what would it cover?
So it would cover national security.
Well, no, I mean, like, what kinds, you're talking about secrecy. What can you keep secret? Anybody in your group? 5. Letters. 1, 2, 3.
Tapes.
Tapes. Was his argument. 1, 2, 3.
Journals.
Journals, but there's other things. Come on, it's an office. We talked about this. 5. What's that?
Yeah, recording tapes.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that already. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Isn't it any business that's dealt with in the executive branch?
any communication that's going to be dealing with the executive branch business, so it could be letters, it could be memos, it could be emails, it could be faxes, it could be tapes. You could go in a number of different things. So Nixon claimed executive privilege for what? What was the issue?
The tape, so the Congress wanted the tapes to be released. From
What tapes?
Meetings he had had.
It was the tapes that he was using so he could record his presidency.
Nixon actually secretly recorded many meetings that took place in his Oval Office. And why did Congress want these tapes? What did they need information about?
Watergate scandal.
What was the Watergate scandal?
So the Watergate scandal was people broke into the Democratic National Convention.
1, 2, 3. They actually broke into the Democratic National Headquarters at the Watergate Hotel. And ultimately Nixon won a huge victory. This information didn't help him win big, but if he oversaw this. You said people. Do y'all remember what the group was called? It was CREEP, the Committee to Re-elect the President, 1, 2, 3. So this goes before the court. And ultimately, what was the deal? What was the ruling? What was the decision?
They ruled that he had to turn the tapes over because he said it had to do with national security.
No, he didn't. His argument had nothing to do with national security.
What did it have to do with? What did he say about his executive privilege? 5.
It could cover anything.
Nixon said, I have an absolute 1, 2, 3 power of executive privilege. Means I don't have to turn over anything if I say it deals with executive business. And what did the court say?
You got to turn him over because, it wasn't absolute. And he didn't say...
When could a president use executive privilege? 4.
National security.
National security. 1, 2, 3. Battle plans, troop movements, supply lines, these kinds of things. Anything else you want to tell me? 4, 3, 2, 1. Anybody with anything else? Okay, I think we're good. Y'all gave me the last correct answer, and now you're comfortably ahead of the overachievers. Pick me a category. Zoom in on the overachievers. I don't know what's going on down here.
I need to finish this.
Especially Julia. Zoom in on Julia, because I need a category, guys. Come on.
Courts for 4.
Courts for 4.
We're supposed to be smart.
Courts for 4. Ripeness. First hand up. Frankie. Ripeness, Frankie.
Wait.
Your group has it.
It's when a case is ready to be trial.
What's that now?
It's when a case is ready to be trial.
Okay, explain it to me again. Give me an example of
It
something.
has to do with the readiness of the case, so it can be taken serious in court.
Okay, it has to do with the readiness. Give me an example.
So the example of it was the birth control.
Birth control, go ahead.
So the court, you couldn't file a lawsuit against the doctor because there was no.
Well, what was the case?
So the lady was trying to get birth control.
And there was a state law?
Yeah, the state law prohibited the prohibited birth control.
Prohibited the doctor from prescribing or advising on birth control.
Yeah.
Do you remember what state it was? 5. 4.
Ohio.
-4. Okay, but I was going to give you 4. Jeremy, go ahead. What was the state?
Connecticut.
It was actually Connecticut. Yeah, it was. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happened with this mootness, Jeremy? 5.
She was trying to take the case to the Supreme Court, but they said that...
What was her issue? 4.
She had a medical something, and she could die.
She couldn't.
That's right. She had a medical condition. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if she got pregnant, she could die. So she wanted to get birth control. And when she went to the Supreme Court, what happened?
They said that she didn't have a case.
Why?
Because she wasn't pregnant. Because she wasn't pregnant.
Because she wasn't
She
pregnant?
wasn't actively suffering from her
She
condition.
hadn't actually suffered an injury. 1, 2, 3. The case wasn't ripe yet. What was the second case? 5.
The doctor.
And what happened there?
The same thing happened.
They said basically that now the doctor had not suffered an injury. How did they ultimately make the case ripe? You still have it. 4.
They brought the police in, and when the police saw the doctor give the birth control prescription to her, they arrested her, and that gave her grounds to go to the
They actually arrested both of them in this instance. They went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court finally struck it down. A case cannot be about a potential injury. It's got to be ripe, just like a banana. Remember, I asked you if you like to eat green bananas, and I think somebody said they did. But anyway, the point of it is that you wait for the case to get ripe. Somebody's got to have suffered a real injury, not a potential one. And if they haven't suffered an injury, court ain't gonna hear it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47, -2. Pick me a category.